Hello everyone. Let's start today's meeting. At first, hello, hola, namaste, guten tag, bonjour, ciao, salom, ni hao, konnichiwa, dear service members worldwide. Welcome to join the third Service Peace Forum. Hi, I am Sayan from a small town of eastern India. It's called Kaliaganj, contributing to servers through creative design from newsletter to global logos and events, etc. It should be an interactive session, right? Who can tell me why this day is special in the chat box?
Mm,
Why this day is a special? Yeah, correct. Peace on Earth. Okay, nice.
Because it's the International Day of Peace.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. I would like to request everybody if you explain peace in a one word without peace,
Not this.
like what
Um,
peace mean to you? Security. Wow, nice.
mm,
Love. Wow. Harmony, dialogue, community.
Peace
Nice.
comes.
Balance. Okay.
mm,
Understanding. Yeah, lots of yes, yes, correct, correct. Lots of things. Stability, solidarity. Yeah. Nice. So, uh, yeah. So yes. So today's topic is how to attract youth to join servers. Before we start the event, I would invite Carla for few words about peace.
I'm sorry, Sayan, I wasn't ready. But of course, this is a very important day for the service community. Sometimes I call us a movement because we are a lot of people that have the same wish for peace on earth, and especially in these turbulent times with so many wars and conflicts going on. It is very important to keep our mental sanity and wish for peace in our everyday lives. Um, peace, inner peace, peace with our neighbors, with our family, with our friends, and peace with other people that we meet on the street, because we are all different, but we are all human beings living on earth. And if we don't find peace, what's the meaning of life? That's what I think about every day. Actually, today um, I published a text on Facebook, and Instagram, and also on the website commemorating this day. So if you have a time, you can read it. And thank you, Sayan. Peace
Thank you.
to us.
Thank you. Really, thanks to Carla. Really, it's mean to peace. Correct. So now it's time to take our first speaker of this event. So I would like to invite Alexa Bailey. She's from Canada, and she's also participated in the Servas Peace School 2025, and she is like fourth year student in bioengineering at McGill University. She's founder and chair of Girls to the Power of Math Charity Foundation and also Lawrence Scholar 2022. So please, Alexa, it's your stage.
Thank you. Let me know when you can see my screen. I'm sharing it now. So yeah, thank you, Sayan, for the introduction.
Yeah,
Before I get started, I just want to acknowledge that I'm speaking today from Montreal, which for those of you who aren't from Canada, you might not know about the history of the Indigenous people in Canada and whose land we're currently on, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge that I am a settler and a guest on this land, and it's the traditional territory of numerous Indigenous communities, including the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee Indigenous peoples. And I think it's important to acknowledge that we're sharing land if we're working towards peace and understanding that we have to also work towards acknowledging, respecting, and working towards reconciliation of the people and the communities who traditionally lived here. So that's just a little bit that I wanted to share about Canada and where I'm currently talking to you from. But originally, I'm from Vancouver, and I'm out here in Montreal for my undergraduate degree in bioengineering. So as Cyan mentioned, going into my fourth year of 5 years, and I'm really enjoying my program so far. I'm the founder of a charity, Girls Power of Math, which aims to encourage girls to pursue math in the future by inspiring a love of math. And we offer free programming for youth in Canada. I'm also a Loran Scholar, so this is an important part of the advocacy that I do. It's a scholarship, an award that is given to graduating high school students who are going into their undergraduate degree to recognize young change makers who demonstrate strong character, service, and potential for leadership. So it's really a fantastic community of young people in Canada who are working towards a better world and who are passionate about creating change in their communities and more broadly. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And then I wanted to talk to you about why I joined Servas. So I have been traveling with my family for a while. So when I was younger, I was a part of Servas through my parents, but I only became a Servas member on my own this year. And I wanted to share a little bit about why I decided to do that. I think the first thing to know is that last year, I got a little bit overwhelmed with the state of the world. I think a lot of people, whether young or older, can recognize that there are a lot of things going on in the world that can leave you feeling hopeless. We're currently in a polycrisis, as my professors like to say. There are a lot of crises going on at the moment. Climate change is accelerating at a rapid pace. There's rising inequality in almost all aspects, health inequality, and one of the most jarring things, I think, is that the Global Peace Index is at the lowest point that it's ever been since World War II. There are currently, I think, 59 countries in state conflict. That's defined by the Global Peace Index. So it was overwhelming for me. And I wanted to do something concrete and be part of the solution towards creating a more peaceful world. I wanted to be part of a global community that was striving towards peace, and that could give me hope to be a part of the solution. And that's why I joined Servas, to really be a part of a community that is striving towards it. And also why I wanted to be a part of the peace schools. So this summer, I joined the Servas Peace Schools, and I was in Georgia and in Turkey. And I know some of you, Mehmet and Gul, are here
Yeah.
from the Peace Schools as well.
Yeah.
And I think the Peace Schools are just such a unique and beautiful solution to this kind of polycrisis of bringing kids up in a world where they are part of the solution to creating a more peaceful world. We're teaching them that, the world is bigger than just their communities, that we're all connected through our shared humanity, and that everyone has value to bring. Everyone has a role in protecting the earth that we're on, and bridging communities. So it was just such a beautiful experience that I could share with all of these people from around the world, Servas members, and people of the community that we were striving for a more peaceful world together. And yeah, here's some photos from the Peace School. I honestly was the best summer I have ever had. Um, I feel much more connected to people from everywhere, and it only encouraged me to, fight harder in my own communities at home to create more peace, even, just with my neighbors and with my classmates. So I think even though that this experience was international and I went to, different countries, um, it taught me that peace work starts at home too, starts in your own communities. And that's a little bit of what I want to talk about today, of how we can get more youth involved in Servas. I obviously haven't been part of Servas, on my own for very long, but I have been it as a youth for a few years. And I think for me, what attracted me to join Servas on my own was this message of creating a more peaceful world. And I think that needs to be at the forefront, even I would say stronger than it is right now. I think some of the message has gotten somewhat lost, with a lot of people using it as just a way to travel and meet people. And that's great. It's a big part of what Servas is, but Servas is also more. It's connecting people who share these values. And this idea of creating a more peaceful world has to come with some advocacy as well. Youth aren't silent at the moment. So many people in my classes, in my spaces, are advocating for change. And I know that Servas isn't a political organization. However, as some people mentioned in the chat, peace, some of these words that peace is is solidarity and community, bringing people together, advocating for change. It starts with social justice. Servas is about advocating for equality among women, among races, among different minorities. And I think that Servas as an organization cannot stay silent when there are so many conflicts going around in the world. So I think youth are looking for a way to get involved in a global community, to be a part of the solution. And Servas, in order to attract more youth and bring them into this global community, have to meet them where they're at. And these are communities that are doing a lot of learning, that are talking about the changes that need to happen, like universities, but also, like I mentioned, the Loran organization. So I did a talk to them because those are young people who want to make a change. And so reaching out to universities, communities of change makers and advocacy organizations to let them know about Servas, about what we're trying to do, because that is where youth are right now. And then I think the peace schools are an amazing way to get youth involved, from a young age, but also as they get older, local volunteers are a big part of the peace schools, right? So in Turkey, I would say there are about 15 to 19-year-olds that are helping a lot with um, uh, welcoming the international volunteers, also helping translate, connecting the community. And they're also the people who are going to be getting a bigger role in organizing these peace schools. And if the peace schools could spread to other countries, I think it would be amazing. I think that every country could benefit from it. There are so many communities that could share their unique culture and knowledge, even within Canada. Remote communities, Indigenous communities have a lot to share, and a peace school there, I think, would be wonderful. And then finally, in Canada, a way that definitely attracts youth is that membership is free for youth from 18 to 25. So I think that is very helpful. It's currently people in university don't necessarily have the budget to travel a lot anymore, and actually are starting to move away from traveling across countries and oceans because of the sustainability issues. But if you can make it more accessible, even within your own country, so that people can, explore different cultures within one country, different areas, and making membership free or reducing the price is definitely a way to attract people, especially youth. So yeah, those are my thoughts for that. And I hope I didn't take too long there. But I'll pass it off, and I'm looking forward to the discussions that we'll have later on.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you, Alexa, for such a beautiful presentation. It is a really fresh perspective to say Servas is, to use something as part of the solution to what the world is going through currently. And it's just amazing to see what the peace schools have been from your eyes and from your experiences, and how you say it is like a beautiful solution, and how we should get more youths to be active in this. So before we move on further, we could have like a 5 minutes for questions on your presentations. So from anyone who would like to ask a question about Alexa's presentation.
I can ask a question. I have a question for Alexa. Alexa, nice to hear you again.
Nice to hear from you as well.
Yeah, you left a big mark in our village with the kids, and it was so enjoyable to have some time with you. Thanks a lot. I want to ask a question about the universities. As you know, the students at the university, they are bright, they are young, and they are so eager to do many things. And how can we make Servas or peace schools more common among the university students?
Yeah, I think that so at McGill particularly, and I expect that most universities do have a day where they have like a clubs fair or an activities fair where they show everything that is available at the university. So I think at the moment, the easiest thing is probably if you have students who are at a university who are already Servas members to go and talk to other people in the university about it, whether it is at a clubs fair and starting something like Servas chapters, like Servas university chapters, where you get young people involved to organize events or connect with, the community in the city. I know Susie here organized an event in Montreal, but if we had, the Montreal chapter working with a McGill chapter of students who might be interested, whether they are already Servas members or are interested in what Servas is and would like to know, more about it, to attend some of these events and be able to advertise it like that. So definitely at the beginning, it's going to be a lot of word of mouth. For if you have students who are already involved. But there are also ways that I know that larger international organizations do have actual university chapters set up. So like the UN has specific university chapters that help with specific projects, or I think Amnesty International, if you've heard of that organization, I know they have a chapter at McGill. So something like that, if Servas is interested in that, what that would look like, that might be an avenue that people could pursue of having different chapters at universities and connecting across the world, across the country, like that.
Amazing. Do we have one more question?
Thanks a lot, Alexa, for your ideas. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think there's a question in the chat.
Oh,
Is
yes.
there a starter pack for people thinking of starting a group? Like in a university, do you mean, Celine?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm a researcher at a university in the UK, and I accidentally came across Servas actually reading the Guardian newspaper on something completely different. But my supervisor specializes in peace education, and it's not my specialization as such yet. But I haven't seen anything like Servas before. And I think that your presentation is incredibly inspiring and encouraging. I have a number of questions which I'll keep to the end. I was just wondering on this point if there is a kind of a starter pack for somebody who's interested, if there's a starter pack.
I think that's a great question, and I don't have that answer. Again, I'm quite new to the organization, and I only heard about it because of my parents. So I think if there is not, that's would be a great thing to have for sure, to get other people involved. And yeah, I think definitely something to work on.
Yeah, and Celine, I'm not sure if you have already connected with other Servas members in the UK, I think. Possibly they could have some they do have social gatherings, social meetings, and possibly some activities that they do. It might not be the exact starter pack that goes directly to universities, but it would be a start, I think. And possibly a good place to start is with the members in the UK. I don't know if you've already met them. Oh, okay. So I could link you up to the National Secretary for Servas UK. Awesome. Alice, a question from you, and then we move on to the next presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alexa, for your inspiring presentation. I liked very much to listen to you. My question is, how do you think we can get youth involved? Let's say, let me explain. I see that youth sign a lot of petitions. This is a way of getting involved with something. Can be peace or other things. besides that, what else? What is the way youth get involved with, let's say, in our case, peace?
Yeah, well, I know at McGill specifically, I don't think we've gone a week since, October 2023 without at least one protest on campus to stop the genocide in Gaza. So there are specifically, at McGill, a student organization for peace in Gaza. There are peace organizations who are focused on specific causes in the university and in the broader community. There are climate protests as well. So being able to connect with those organizations and say, hey, I saw that your organization does a lot of advocacy already. Would they want to connect with a global community who is doing work for peace and being just that bridge, not necessarily having to do extra and having people on the ground having to organize more protests and more, actions, but already meeting people who are doing those things, who might be interested in strengthening the organization, rather than getting, the organization to put more effort to try and find people who aren't already doing that. There are already people who are looking for it. They just don't know about Servas. So talking to them and bringing it to them is a really simple way to grow the organization with young people who are already fighting for change.
Thank you, Alexa.
All right, thank you very much for the questions and the presentation as well, Alexa. Now we have to move on to the next presentation, which is going to be done by Sebastian Foresti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but he is a very active Servas youth. He has been on the forefront organizing so many youth camps before, some of which I was honored to attend, and they're really brilliant. And I think his presentation is going to come more from that perspective of the organizing and putting things together perspective. And he is also currently part of the Servas Italy Executive Committee, and he will be sharing with us his presentation now. Over to you.
Yep. Now that's not what I wanted to do. Give a sec to this. Okay. Now maybe if I could see also the. Okay. Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Sebastiano. Some of you already know me. I've been in the Sikoga 3 years ago, so you might have, if you've been there, you might have seen like this guy moving around the halls of Sikoga in India. But as Tayeti was saying, I was also, I hope to make this presentation movie very quick, but something is not working, so I can't really move the presentation, and I don't know why is that. So I will. Okay, I don't know how I did it, but still fine. I am 23 years old. I am currently member of the executive committee of Servas Italy. I am currently responsible for communication, which means I try to, let's say, get people together about events, meetings, and try to adjust a little bit the communication of the association. As Tayetsi was saying, I was involved very much in youth projects in the last couple of years. So along with other people, of course, I was part of the planning team for the last camps, for the last youth camps, the one they did last year in France. and the one they did 2 years ago in Italy. And yeah, that's pretty much about me. Everything. That's pretty much. So what I wanted to do today was, first of all, making the presentation work. At this point, it's become a quite clear objective. Secondly, okay. Take a quick scan on the things that I believe are most important to develop youth, which is a very I think key part of the Servas Association in this very historical moment. Plus, it's a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing to do. Maybe the most difficult to take an organization that has been around for many years, for 80 years, and with not a really like big base on communication, bringing it to the youth, presenting it as good as a good way to meet friends, as a good way to talk about peace with someone else, with someone that shares your very same values, or maybe not, but you can dialogue with that someone. So it's a difficult mission, and I think the way we can like behave best in these very occasions is by trying our best in making something special for the youth, and making believe that there's actually something good. There's actually some there's some beauty in Servas, and you can find it through experience, travels, and these kind of things. So I've gone back another time. Okay, now I'm really here. So the presentation is meant to show a little bit what we try to do in our country as for the youth group, and maybe to propose something internationally which could be interesting and you know, of interest to the Servas International Board. So the most important thing is that we try, I think, and it works a little at least in the north of Italy, to make youth, to keep making youth part of the national meetings. So if you prepare a national meeting, you try to gather around the youth of that specific area. It's not always easy. For example, next month we will have a national meeting in my town, in Bergamo. There is, because let's say of different, you know, there are some conditions that make Bergamo being the center of the youth activity in Italy. So there are lots of youth, lots of young people around there, and we try to get them involved in organizing, in having activities, in organizing, try to organize something for the National Assembly too. And we organize a special meeting for them during the assembly. We usually, I don't know, have a little time also to visit the cities and everything. And so we propose something similar, also just a youth restricted, let's say, kind of event. Because when you have a youth group, it's important you keep talking to them, and youth keep talking to, and young people keep talking to each other. It's much easier, you create bonds, and it's even easier to create new projects if people involved in these projects already know each other. Secondly, being active on your territory, which means technically it's a very basic kind of thing. Everyone could have said that. What I mean is that there are several associations on your specific territory that maybe share the same values as Servas, and there are young people doing that, maybe participating in assemblies for those associations and everything. It's important that we keep being connected to those kind of organizations, even if they are not Servas, even if they are maybe if they act maybe in a slightly different way, or that they have some differences with Servas. It's important that we keep a net of associations, and especially about young people, youth associations that can rely on Servas and on which Servas can rely for some kind of stuff, for organizing events, for this kind of things. Third thing, and this is a thing that I always recommend because I don't see many people doing it, but Servas is full of teachers, full of high school teachers, full of university teachers. These are important connections because if you want to talk to the youth, the best place to do it in an efficient and, let's say, very connective way is the school and the university. So if you bring out the presentation for someone who is still in school and wants to know a little bit more about the world, about creating connections, schools are very important places to go into. Which doesn't mean that in Italy we do it like 20 times per year, but let's say that we exploit the connections that we have with the teachers to try to be there at least, I don't know, 4 times a year, moving with a small group of youth that presents their experience inside of the organization, inside of Servas, and that can talk to other young people, maybe in a more effective way than an email or a WhatsApp group or anything else can do, and explain why Servas is a good opportunity for everyone, why Servas is a good community to stay into if you share like those kinds of values and so on and so on. So this is very important to me. It's a battle that that I share with you because I think it's a very effective way to get in touch with new people and to have new people joining Servas, but it's not a road that has been used very, very often, in my opinion, and there is always time and space to get better. Last of all, internationally speaking, and I can't stress this enough, camps are like the most objectively easy way to get youth to connect with each other. And they don't have to be big, they don't have to be particularly expensive, they don't have to be, I don't know, fancy. It's just, you just need a place, someone organizing some activities, maybe using the bonds that you've gotten with the connections that you have with other associations, maybe to create something fun. And I don't know, 30, 40, 50 young people staying together in the same place, which is not a great number, but it's still very important. And I think that's the most effective mean to get Servas youth talking to each other. And I know it's in this case, specific case, it's not about attracting new people inside of Servas, but the fact that young people are meeting in a camp, it makes Servas active it makes the youth in Servas active. They get together, they have ideas, they create stuff, and also the fact that Servas can say that they are organizing youth camps as part of the association. I think it's also a bonus, a plus for someone who is looking in the site of Servas, or I don't know, is looking for information about Servas and gets to know these specific stuff. There are youth camps. I think it's a pro. It's a nice thing to know, and I think it shows that the organization is trying to get the most out of youth and invest on youth, and that's a thing I think most young people want to hear themselves. They want to feel in a way important, invested in. That's what they are looking for in a way. So above the opportunity, maybe there is also this kind of thing. That's pretty much all for my presentation. I will try to close the condivision, but if someone can do it for me, it's probably better because it will take a little bit of time to find my mouse back. And maybe not very smooth. I moving. I thought I could move around swiftly, but that was a mistake. Okay, maybe I'm regaining control now. Maybe not.
Awesome. No worries. Okay. Thank you so much, Seba, for your presentation. And once again, it was interesting to hear about what you're talking about, especially from the organizing point of view. Coming from a fellow young person, now we have an idea, and you touched upon how you visit schools, which is also something Alexa pointed out. And I mean, we can now get a blueprint from you, Seba. So whenever you see any of us coming to you to ask for advice, I'm sure you'll be welcoming us. And I love how you emphasize that I cannot emphasize this enough, camps, camps, camps. And so that is also something a lot of youth coordinators or national secretaries should think about, right? And so because of time, we will not have Q&A immediately because we have 3 more presentations to come, and then we can have a Q&A afterwards.
Okay, I have to run, but no problems really. If someone has any questions to me for me, just let me know, and I will try to
Awesome.
answer privately to everyone. Thank you very much,
Yes.
guys. See you very soon.
Thank you, Sarah. All the best. All right. So I think, Val, are you ready to present now?
Hello. Yes, I'm gonna share my presentation. It's just
Awesome.
I'm using my
Okay.
iPad, so I don't know where it is. I'm gonna look for it.
No problem.
Just okay. Okay, yes, I found it.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Malawi. Wait, I have my notes because I have kind of like not a good memory, but a little bit about me. So I'm Valeria from Peru. I am the National Peace Secretary here at Servas, Peru. Well, what I can tell a little bit about me is that I work at my university at the International Bureau as a communication assistant, but I also enjoyed volunteered, and my last project started this year, being a communications coordinator at Proyecto Cetáceos Peru, which is an NGO that helps whales, dolphins, and any kind of these animals that live on the nature and the seas, and we try to do education programs and civil like scene, just like a big red communication around all Peru, so we can have a good sense of where are these animals, where they live, so we can recollect that data, and it helps to future investigations. Well, I'm a nature lover. I love hiking. Just like being around nature, it makes me really, really happy. I have these plants who I haven't been taking care of, but I probably will soon because, well, it's necessary. I am crazy for ice cream. I love it. Right now it's winter in Peru, but I still eat a lot of ice cream. And I love doing sports. I enjoy swimming, doing football. Later this day, I'm gonna play tennis with some friends. And last year, because of sports, I got a chance to be a volunteer in France for like 7 months, doing sports with youth at the Mission Local, Techno-West, and it was a really joyful experience. And okay, oh yeah, it moves. So why joined Servas? Well, I like to say that I was born into it. Like I'm a baby Servas because when I was 5 years old, I was in my home back at Cajamarca, which is in the north of Peru. Right now I live in Lima, which is the capital. And I remember seeing these like strange people with, I don't know, like bright hair and everything. And they were the first Servas members who I welcomed when I was 5 years old, and they were from Canada.
and over the years, my family will welcome more and more Servas from every place in the world. I also remember going to school with two French girls. So I really think that why personally join and not more like a family decision was because I love the stories, the adventure, the culture, and also learning new languages. At my school, they teach English and French, so it was really awesome to have like French people at my house. Um, and then I would love just to see like all these people with their backpacks and telling their story about all the hikes they had in Peru. And last year, I got the chance to not only host, but also to travel to other places. And I think that really got me really excited about Servas and to be more involved in it because I wanted that my people back at home, like Servas Peru, I wanted them to also enjoy this kind of travels and seeing new places with other eyes. Um, Now, this is a bit of what I do to attract new young service members in Peru. And the main thing I do is talk to friends and kind of like then also talk to travelers, but more talk to friends. How do I talk to them? Well, first, I do a quick filter just to know who is more like open to travel and more has more empathy to other cultures and stuff, and then I speak from my experience, also while sharing service values because I think that is important. um, I remember last year when I did my volunteer in France, I traveled with more Peruvians. We were like I think 10, and because I enjoy how they spoke about traveling and oh yes, this is going to be a new experience here in France for 7 months. I'm thinking about going to this place and this other place and da da da. And because I get to know them to a more special level, and that I talk to them about what I did, like about a camp, Servas camp in Brazil, about how I was planning to travel here and there. And they were like, "Oh, and how are you gonna do that? Like all these places?" And then I tell them about Servas, and they were like, "Are you staying like stranger houses?" And I'm like, "Yes, but not at the same time because every time I travel to a Servas house, I don't see them actually as a stranger. It's more like a future friend ish." Yes, that's how I see it because I think that every Servas member has kind of like a vibe and you can sense when you are with a friend. And when do I talk to friends? Well, while doing activities like hiking, volunteer, or maybe just eating. Yesterday I was with some friends just like having coffee, and we were just sharing our experiences, and then they were like, "Hey Valeria, I remember you traveled last year a lot. Like, how did you do that? Can you recommend it?" And I spoke about Servas, and oh, that's really awesome. And isn't it like coach surfing? I was like, yes, but no, because it has like a more humanitarian vibe and that kind of stuff. So just also like while speaking to it, trying to be really like emphasizing that it's not coach surfing, it's not staying at someone's house, it's more like a cultural and exchange. And why I talk to friends? Because for me it's very important to attract more youth in Peru. Right now we are 10 people, 10 young members, Servas members in Peru. So I really think it's very important to keep growing and keep spreading the word, like friends to other friends to other friends. Because in that way, I think we can have more impact. We can do more activities, and I think it will be very beautiful that more people can know how are other ways to do peace in a very chaotic world. This is more of like a sum up and ideas of how to attract new service members in general. I think it's very important to, and here's where I have my notes. I think it's very important to involve more youth in national Servas activities, is to encourage young members to get involved in the communications area, in the organizations area, like because right now in Peru, I don't think they are that like enthusiastic to do that. I think people are on their own vibe, so it's work for us, for the also for the national secretary to do all this. I also think it's very important to organize like picnics, museum visits, nature outings, and later on also camping trips. I'm speaking for myself. I think it's a little bit hard to do all stuff just like for freewheeling in here in Peru. For do camp trips and stuff, you need to have a lot of money and maybe a car. So sometimes that can be a barrier. And so just organize and talk on how we can do this. Also, we can use the online spaces as we did in the past years in COVID, maybe, like using Discord or virtual games just to connect, because sometimes people are really involved in work or studies and stuff. So just maybe 30 minutes a day at your house, we can connect at Discord. Also, when we have these activities, we can bring friends that are not Servas members to these events, just so they can get a more sense of what is Servas. Because talking, it's good, but also showing could be more special. Joining volunteer projects representing Servas. I did this. I did a volunteer like a beach cleaning, and I also had this space to talk a little bit more about Servas. Also, hold information meetings and share events on our WhatsApp group. Like use this space to spread more activities we have, or that every like Servas in general has. And well, this is like a wish. This is a Latin American wish list that we have a Servas camp every year. This is something that it's really difficult. The last one was at 2023, the first one and the last one, because I think it's very difficult for Latin America to get together in just one place, because we for sure have to buy a plane ticket, because bus could take 1 day or 2 days maybe, and that's why I think it's a barrier, but we just have to talk about it. And just to end this presentation, I think that what Servas really represents to me, and what I can see here, and what I heard of the other speakers saying, is that Servas helps and to nature this like think and travel globally, but then act locally. That's what Servas means to me. And well, that's it. Thank you everyone for hearing my
Thank you
presentation.
so much, Valeria. It was really a great presentation. So, yes. So, like, please, I would request everybody, like, if you have any kind of questions, please put your question on the chat box. We will take every question after like, completing all presentations. So now I would like to introduce our last but not the least presenter, Tezi Chintu Banda. Like she's from Malawi, Africa, and she's also a very active service youth. So she's the Service Malawi Youth Coordinator, and also like a youth and family committee member. And Daisy, are you ready? The stage is yours, please.
Thank you, Cyan. Yes, I'm ready, but could we get like 2 minutes for a photo, a group photo?
Yes, yes, yes. So I would request everybody, so if possible, could you turn on your camera? Then we can take some good pictures. Happy, happy faces.
Okay. All right. Is everyone ready?
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Okay, wonderful smiles. Perfect. All right. So I think I'm going to start now. So I had a presentation, or I had the presentation ready, but it got mixed up. So I'll still present, although it will be a little bit raggedy, but okay.
So like in the meantime, so if anybody has any kind of questions for Valeria, so you can ask it.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
And it has the presentation, right?
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Thank you. All right. So let me. Okay. So like as Sayan said, my name is Tayezi Chintubanda. I'm the youth representative for Servas Malawi, but also part of the committee member for the Youth and Families Committee. So my job is not necessarily to talk about Servas from a Malawian or African perspective, but rather to introduce to you the Youth and Families Committee, and to sort of like share what their responsibilities are, as they're critical to youth activities in Servas International. Okay, we just. Right, let's see. Let's start. So who are we? Who are the Youth and Families Committee? So it is a team that is within Servas International. It acts as a hub for youth, youth-related projects and activities within Servas International, right? So activities like for volunteering, SILES, international youth camps, youth hosting. So all these activities are sort of like not governed, but are within the Youth and Families Committee. And so that is why they are critical to this meeting, and just trying to bring your attention towards the committee and to also tell you a little more about what the committee does. So I will talk about a few things like SILE. I'll talk about the youth camps, and I'll also talk about peace schools. So I'm so glad that so much has already been covered about this. It only means I'll only cement a few points, but so much has been said already. Okay, so what do we do? Right, so the Youth and Families Committee are there to basically support the youth activities, right? Youth activities, and to make sure that they succeed. So coming back to Valeria's point, sometimes it is extremely difficult to organize a youth activity. And there are a lot of barriers that come to mind, some of which are physical, geographical barriers, some are possibly maybe very local barriers, like challenges that make it difficult for a team to organize a youth activity. But where the Youth and Families comes in is that they're there to support SILES. So I'm going to talk about what SILE is in a moment. But for now, I'm sorry, let me just put this down. Yeah, so they support and encourage SILE, which is the Student Youth Language Exchange Program. We support peace schools and encourage peace schools as well. supporting international youth activities. So this includes summer camps, international youth summer camps, and also they help with budgeting and logistics support. And finally, one of the biggest roles for the youth and families is publishing all these activities, because at the end of the day, what we want is to let the entire Servas community know what activities you've been doing. That way, we ensure that other people are inspired to do the same or even to do better. And so those are some of the tasks or some of the things that we do. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the SILE, which is the Servas, the Servas Youth Language Experience, right? So what is this? This is a program that was established to allow young people to spend time in another country, obviously, with one or more hosting families, to learn their language and to discover their culture or way of life, right? So if you're interested, which I hope you would be, it's something that you can do if you're within the ages of 16 to 30. So SILE is for anyone between those age ranges. You can travel to a different country and learn their language. And someone could ask, language is very specific, why the language? So the language is there to help you or to help the traveler to be able to learn more about the culture. And you cannot do that. The best way to do that is by learning another language. That way you're more interested to know what this word means, how can I communicate? And it sort of forces you to interact with people. It forces you to be active. So from a more personal experience, I've done a SILE program once. And the best way to do or to learn another language was for me to be active. And so I volunteered to do different works with my different hosts. So with each host, I would do something different that they would give me. Usually it was a task that they would give me. I would say, okay, so I'm here, I want to learn the language, so give me something to do, right? So it could really be anything. It is mostly flexible, but there is a form that you can fill in when you go to the Youth and Families website, or if you just go to the Servas website, there is a page dedicated to SILE, and you have a lot of reports about the different SILEs that you can do. And so we, as Youth and Families, do encourage you to do a SILE. If you can, do a SILE. And most importantly, share with us your experiences, because the experiences that you go through then inspire other people to do the same. And so that is about the SILE. I will also talk about peace schools. Good thing. I'm so glad that it was pretty much covered and we were able to see what a peace school is from, was that Alex's presentation? So far, as much as I know, I think the peace school we have peace schools in 3 countries properly established. I think that's Turkey and Uganda and Georgia. And we have, thankfully, Mehmet, I think I saw that you're part of the participants for this, whom I regard as the father of peace schools, because he really started this and he has spread the art of developing a peace school or bringing it together. And so what the peace school just basically allows you as a volunteer to spread peace and learn about other cultures while you do that, right? And as much as you might be volunteering to teach something, you are in the process learning so much, right? By interacting with people locally, especially the kids. And for most people, it is a life-changing experience. And so I would also encourage you to do a peace school. I haven't done one to go and volunteer at a peace school. I haven't done so myself, but I'm hoping to do so, and I plan to do that pretty soon. Okay, moving on. international summer camps. All right. So Sebastian emphasized on this, that this is one of the biggest ways of bringing young people together, or attracting more young people to come. So what the youth and families do is to sort of like guide whoever wants to organize an international summer camp, to guide them through the steps, because organizing an international summer camp is not easy at all. And we have a good team in our hands that have experience organizing summer camps previously. And there are steps that need to be followed, proper steps and guidelines that would be shared to you. And so if you want to organize a summer camp, please contact anyone from the youth and families to help you with the process way in advance, as they also give logistics support and sometimes partial funding, because as youth and families, we understand that a lot of young people may not have enough resources to sponsor themselves to travel somewhere else for a summer camp, or to even organize the summer camp itself, because it requires accommodation, visa processes, and all these things. And so that's where the youth and families come in. It's just simply to guide you through the process of organizing a summer camp, so that everything moves smoothly, right? And so the youth and families also organize summer camps, but this is a youth and families summer camp. So it's not just youth. They invite families as well. We have all families coming and joining. There was one this year which was very successful, and I hear people had a really good time. And so there'll be another one next year. And so I hope that you stay tuned for that, to be able to attend as well. Okay, so oops, that was a duplicate. All right, so now it was supposed to be time for a Q&A, but again, because of time, you could just simply put down your questions in the chat, and it will be addressed accordingly, just so we meet our time, because we do need to go into breakout rooms. But on a side note, I'd like to just let everyone know that the Youth and Families Committee will be changing soon at the SICOGA. There'll be new people joining the committee. And so we're calling out to young females, please apply to be in the Youth and Families Committee, because so far it's been all males that are applying. And because we would like to encourage diversity, please, we're calling out to young ladies to come up and apply to be part of the Youth and Families Committee. All right. That said, I think that is the end of my presentation. And Cyan, I think now we can go ahead to the discussion, right? Do we have time for this?
Yes, we have very little time. So any question for Tai?
Yes, a
I think
quick
they are.
one.
I have asked a question. Can you give a few examples of tasks that you did with the SILE families?
Oh, with the SILE.
Yeah, just a few examples. know?
Okay. So I did my SILE just after the SICOGA in South Korea. And so immediately after the SICOGA, I went into my SILE. So I did my SILE in South Korea. It was very interesting because there was a very big language barrier, because obviously I don't know how to speak South Korean. So I went to at least 4 different families, and I had 1 week with each. And it just so happened that they were all teachers and others lecturers. And so what they would do is they would take me to their schools and say, during my time period, you are going to talk about Malawi. And so all I did was just talk about Malawi. I did it at a nursery school. I did it at a high school. I did it at a yeah, at a university, and so it just so happened that they're all in the education sector, and
Okay.
that is, yes, that is pretty much what I did.
Can I ask another question? You know, the Servas International Youth Bulletin that appeared in April 24 was excellent. Isn't it an idea to have more bulletins just by the youth? You see the news
Oh,
bulletin, which was written
yes.
and prepared by the youth?
Yes, and Cyan was a very did a very big part putting all that together. Cyan, would you like to say anything about this? The
Yes,
youth bulletin?
also in that newsletter team, Tai also was there. So we worked together with Carla. So yeah, that was a very fantastic newsletter. Also, we very much enjoyed to create it. So yes, so we can also create
Yeah.
this, make more. So let's see.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
very
it's
good
a good
idea.
idea.
And something
Yeah.
else is a start pack. Somebody spoke of the start pack for going to universities or schools. Wouldn't it be a good idea for the committee to prepare one? That would be one of the tasks that could be done and would be very helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'm glad that Carla is here as well. So she is also
Mhm.
taking note of these. That when we will be taking it to the executive team, at least Carla will be there to vouch for us as we bring out these points. But yes, definitely, that's a brilliant idea that we could execute.
Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you will notice that there are several breaking discussion rooms. They have been divided into 5 groups, and in these breaking rooms, we're going to have different topics discussed. So each group is labeled by the topic. So one is attracting youth online, another is attracting youth in summer camps, attracting youth locally, attracting youth to travel with Servas, and then attracting youth to host with Servas. And so depending on which topic you'd be more interested in, I invite you to join a group and discuss how can you attract young people either online or in summer camps. And then we'll have the discussions for like 15 minutes, and then we come back and just share a few unique points before we close.
Miriam, hi.
Yes, we will meet again at Sikoga.
This is Servas, you see?
Yes,
Servas.
amazing.
Servas makes people, feel missing
At
each other,
home.
see each other, and so that's why this is an important meeting. All meetings
Yes,
are important, exactly, but in Sikoga there will be maybe
yes.
a lot of people. So yes, it's
Okay.
great. Can I have 1 minute to talk, or do you have any other things to talk about?
So we were basically just supposed to share with each other a few points about what we discussed from the discussion rooms. But you could have 1 minute while people gather thoughts. And yeah.
Actually, before this meeting and even during this meeting, I started to feel that Servas is not going to get much older. It's going to get younger day by day, because there is a kind of a movement, a progress in Servas. Maybe for 5 years, the young people are more participating in Servas. And because of the world issues and needs, that young people, they start to find Servas is a good place to change something in the world and to express themselves. So that's why I think the Servas, this is the like this 2026 will be the turning point for Servas, because that means we are going to get younger, because of this really will for participation more to change something and to make friends in the world. So these are the ideas I get here are very precious, about how to make Servas younger, and how to make it common in between young people. So there are more ideas, of course, but we don't have maybe time for that. But I'm sure we're gonna talk more in at Sikoga. So yeah, I'm happy to see you all, guys, and yeah, it's done. I'm done.
Sure, Mehmet. Definitely we will meet again in the Chicago. So, like, anybody have any kind of feedback about like how to attract youth to join servers? Anybody?
And you stay back in, like,
Okay, maybe I can start. In our group, we talked about youth and social media, how to attract youth through social media. And there was a good idea from Isabel to create podcasts on YouTube, because Service International has a YouTube channel. We could create podcasts. That's an idea that we can put in practice in the near future, but any good ideas are welcome. Ideas is something we have. The other thing is to put them in practice. We need people to do that. Yeah.
That's true. Young people
I
to
don't
do
know
that.
if Isabel or Charles or Esther want to add something from our group.
Yes, can I say something? I think the videos you showed, you know, the slides that the different young people showed today, that would be good to bring them to Sikoga, and let's see what we can make of them, because this is a good way of explaining what it's about, how you became a service member, what to do. I think it was really excellent. So if everybody could bring these slides, that would be a good way to talk about it and show them, and I don't know, maybe on on Instagram or whatever. It could be the starting point of a YouTube podcast, for example, or a way of advertising.
Yes.
Did you hear the words of the song, Service for the World?
Yes.
It was written by Jean Bourdin, the French. Do you know him?
No, not specifically, but
Because
no.
the words summarize the values of service very, very succinctly, and I think it could be a good vehicle for getting people interested in the organization. I've shown it to, I work at the university here in Italy at Bologna, and I've shown it to some of my students. They were immediately interested, as well as to some people in Armenia, where there is no service, and they immediately wanted to talk about setting up service in Armenia. But unfortunately, when I mentioned the idea of Mehmet's idea of a peace camp with Turkey and other countries in the area, they decided that it wasn't a good idea for some reason.
Charles, we had a peace ceremony yesterday outdoors on our Mount Royal, which is like our central park, and we actually recited the song.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
And along with other gestures, you know, every gesture counts for peace. And
Right.
being a teacher and I'm also a student now, I'm retired. I spread the word if I have to do a presentation in my Italian class, because I like to learn languages also. I'll do it on Servas. So
That's a good idea, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
I think the video is interesting because it shows people from different generations, including some children, quite young, 7 or 8-year-olds, people from every age who took part in the Servas Peace Camp in Slovenia last month, and all singing together in English. That was one of the aspects of the song. Mei Wang from Taiwan, when I met her in Moraira a couple of years ago, she said to me, "Can you please do a version in English? Because the version in French is great, but unfortunately here in Asia, not many people understand that language." So I did.
Wow. Well, a good idea would be to get the song as a background for the video that the communications team will be doing. I hope.
Yeah.
Then have that as our
It's
background song. That would be perfect.
completely rights free. There's no problem there. Yeah, you can find it on Spotify now, and I think on Amazon Music, Apple Music, as well as on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Cyan, would you like to conclude?
Yes, so thank you everybody. So to participate on this meeting. So and it's really like Servas needs lots of youth, and we are youth, so we need to contribute to Servas a lot. So yeah, also we come up with good ideas about the social media and also some newsletter and all. So yeah, definitely. Thank you again. Thanks a lot to participate on that meeting. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Adios.
you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you for this meeting.
Yeah, thank you for the presentations. Very
Yeah, as usual.
inspiring.
Yep.
I wish I was young again.
You look young.